Hey folks, welcome to Fyreflye's Follies. I hope that you enjoy the video today. If you do, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. It really does help my channel out a lot. If you haven't subscribed yet, I hope that you will and that you'll stick around for a while. Alright, so this is the last potato, and let me just tell you, this is sold as an apple core peeler, and it has this little blade that attaches to the front of it that has a hole, and as you spin your apple through it, it spiral slices your apple and takes the core out of it. This thing is amazing for peeling and coring and slicing apples, but if you take that removable blade off, it is amazing for peeling potatoes, sweet potatoes. I have peeled zucchini and squash and cucumbers on this thing. I absolutely love it, and I have arthritis in my hands, so to sit with a peeler or a knife and peel 10 or 20 pounds of potatoes or apples at a time is just not something I can do so well anymore. So this is one of the best gifts I've ever gotten, and they're not expensive. I will leave a link in the description below if it's something that you're interested in. So I'm going to get this last one peeled, and alright, so I've got the last one done. I'm going to drop it into the water, and I am going to transfer them over into another pan. I'm going to go get the slicer. I'm going to clean up a little bit, and I will bring you back and we will get these sliced up. Today I am canning French fries, and I thought I'd bring you along and show you what I do. So I have peeled and cut down to the length of my jar, or what I hope is the length of my jar. Some of those look like they might be just a little bit too long. Some potatoes. So I've got my Vegematic, and I have the insert in for the French fry cutter for the big dice, and I am going to cut these into fries. I'm just going to put them back into the water. I'll leave a link for this in the description below if it's something that you're interested in. I use it a lot. It takes the work out of chopping and slicing. So has several attachments that go in it to make different slices and dices, and even has an apple core and wedger in it. So I'm going to get these going, and I will come back once I get them all cut up into French fries. Okay, so that is what I ended up with for my fries. And again, I cut the potatoes down so that they should be pretty close to the length of my jars. I just eyeballed it, so I hope I got them pretty close to right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these soak for 10 minutes. I'm going to pour this water off, and I'm going to put clear water on them and let them soak for 10 more. Then I'll pour that water off, put clear water on them while I load my jars. My jars have all been sanitized. They're in the dishwasher, and I am doing everything cold. It's not refrigerator cold, but it's room temperature cold, and I'm using cool water. And the reason I'm soaking them, it just lets some of the starch leach out a little bit. That's what makes the water cloudy. Doesn't hurt you if you don't soak them. There's a debate between soak and don't soak. I will rinse them when I open them anyway, but the more starch I get out of them now, the less starch I have to rinse off of them when I open them to cook them. So I'm going to let these go for about 5 or 10 minutes and change the water out a couple of times, and when I'm ready to load jars, I will bring you back. Okay, I have soaked and rinsed my fries. I actually did them 3 times, and now the water is pretty clear. So I'm going to go ahead and start loading jars. Now, I load my jars the same way that I load pickles. I stand them up. It's a personal preference for me. Some people just drop them in. I prefer to stand them up. I feel like they come out of the jar a little easier that way for me. And I'm packing these in wide mouth pints, also because they come out of the jar a little easier for me. And this holds just enough for me to have a good healthy serving of fries and maybe a few left over. Another great thing about canning these as fries is if I decide, so it's just a French fry, but if I decide that I want to make home fries, I can open a jar of these, slide them out, cut them in 3 or 4 pieces, and I have home fries that are ready for me to brown up. Now, when I'm ready to eat these, I slide them out of the jar, I rinse them in cold water, I lay them on a paper towel and let them drain for just a few minutes, and then I fry them, or I drizzle them with oil and some seasoning and put them in the air fryer or in the oven. And they turn into beautiful crispy fries. And they brown up in no time, because they're already cooked. All you're doing is browning and crisping them. And I don't pack these super tight, but I want the jar full. I don't know if you can see, I don't want any big gaps in it. Put one more in there. I don't want any big holes or anything. I just want to pack it in. And you need to leave an inch of headspace, and I cut some of these a little bit short, so I'm just below an inch, but I'll put my liquid up to an inch. So I'm going to finish filling these jars. I'm going to fill my jars with room temperature water and debubble them. Now, at this point, you can put spices in if you like. You can add salt if you want. I am canning these plain. I can salt them when I cook them. I can add spices to them when I cook them. If I cook them just plain, then it leaves the entire universe of spicing open to me. So I'm going to fill these up to a 1-inch headspace and debubble them. I don't know why I'm trying to do that left-handed. I'm not a left-handed girl. Okay, now one thing I do want to mention about these. I'm going to debubble them and I'm going to put the lids on them, but when these come out of the canner, they won't be super cloudy, but over time, this liquid, this clear liquid, is going to get cloudy. That is the nature of potatoes. It's the starch in the potatoes. There's nothing wrong with them. If you grab a jar off the shelf and you see that they're a little cloudy looking, there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. That is the starch from the potato. You just rinse that off. So I'm going to get these debubbled, and I'm going to work all the way around the sides and then try to get down the center. He tried to escape. And then I will recheck my headspace. And these are a 1-inch headspace, which is to the bottom of this band. Okay, white vinegar, piece of paper towel. I'm just going to wipe the rims. Now this serves two purposes. When I'm getting my jars ready, I always check the rims. But this gives me a second chance to go over those rims, and you can feel anything that might be there. Even when you spill something sticky, if you're canning something that's sticky, you will feel it. You will know that it is there. Okay, I'm going to get these in the canner. I'm going to bring my canner up to a full steam. Now, when the steam pipe is emitting a steady stream of steam, I'm going to time it for 10 minutes. Once that 10 minutes is up, I'm going to put the weight on. I'm going to let it go, come up to pressure, and I'm going to let it go for 35 minutes because I am canning pints. Once that 35 minutes is up, I'm going to turn the power off. I'm going to let it come down off of pressure naturally. I'm going to set the lid to the side for about 5 minutes once it comes down off of pressure, and then I'll get them out. So once it's time to take them out, I will bring you back. Okay, so I loaded the canner, I brought it up to steam, I vented it for 10 minutes, and then I put the weight on and I brought it up to pressure, and I processed these for 35 minutes. Then I shut the heat off and I've let them come down off of pressure naturally, and I took the lid off and they've been sitting for about 4 or 5 minutes. So now let's get them out and see how they turned out. Let's see if it will focus for you so that you can see. I have a jar of ready-to-eat French fries. All they need is a little browning and crisping. Apologize for noise. They really did turn out quite beautifully. They're still bubbling away. I've been listening to them seal for the past 3 or 4 minutes. Several of them have sealed. And right now the water in them is pretty clear. But again, over time it can cloud, and there's nothing wrong with the potato if the water in it clouds. It's the starch in the potato. And you need to rinse them off when you open them anyway because they are starchy. Short girl issues. I burn my arms on a regular basis reaching into my canner. Alright, so there we have it. A 10-pound bag of russet potatoes cut into french fries, ready to open, rinse, pat them dry, and stick them in the air fryer, stick them in the oven, or drop them in the fryer. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these sitting for about 24 hours. Sometime tomorrow I will come back. I will check all my seals, but it looks like all of these have sealed. But I will verify. I will check all of my seals. I will wash the jars. I will label them and put them in my pantry. These are good in your pantry for a couple of years at least. This is enough to last me. I don't eat french fries a whole lot, but I will open them every once in a while and chop them up in pieces and make home fries as well. So they really do turn out really good. So next time I decide to cook up some fries or some home fries, I'll do a video and I'll link it to this one. That way you guys can see how well they turned out. I really hope that you enjoyed the video today. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up, and I hope that you'll subscribe and stick around for a while. If you hit the notification bell, YouTube will notify you when I upload a new video based on your settings. Thank you so much for watching today. Have a great day.